morning. I'm Trish Vradenburg. As many of you know, my role in life is basically canceling my husband's vote. So I get to introduce the Democratic senator. So let me tell you about a little of how I got here. When I was 36 years old and writing for the TV show Designing Women, my life was finally coming together, and then my world fell apart. My mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I watched helplessly as this elegant lioness of a woman disappeared into the chasm of Alzheimer's. Years later, my husband and I met with Hillary Clinton. I told her that both Linda Bloodworth Thomason, the brilliant writer, creator of Designing Women, and a close friend of Hillary's, and I were told in the same week that our mothers had a fatal disease. My mom had Alzheimer's, and Linda's mom had contracted AIDS from a transfusion. Her mother was gone in 6 months. My mom was gone in 5 years. I told Hillary that if this happened today, her mother would live and mine would still die. 2 years ago, I told her that we needed the same passion and commitment of those few, brave few, who turned into a throng of people demanding that you do something about AIDS. And so a 10-year program began. That tenacity made Congress fund research. And now AIDS is no longer a death sentence, but a manageable disease. Hillary got it like that and became head of the Alzheimer's Task Force. 2 years ago, we made a half an hour appointment to meet with Senator Amy Klobuchar to ask her to co-sponsor the Alzheimer's Breakthrough Act. After 3 minutes, Amy got it like that and said she would lobby her colleagues to get on board. And now we have 46 senators who are on board. Nice work, Senator. Then we talked strategy for 4 minutes, which left us 23 minutes to talk about Minnesota. Obviously, it was no mistake that Senator Klobuchar was the valedictorian of her Wayzata high school class. And she's been with our cause all the way. So it's my honor to introduce Senator Amy Klobuchar, the funniest senator in the Senate. Eat your heart out, Al Franken.
Much. That's quite, not usually does anyone mention my high school career, so thank you for that. And it was certainly nicer than the introduction I got about a month ago at a swearing in for the Marshal of the United States Marshal of Minnesota, when the federal judge of the state of Minnesota in front of 500 people introduced me as Minnesota's senior citizen. That's what happened. That truly happened to me. But thank you, Trish. Thank you, George, for your incredible work with Us Against Alzheimer's and everyone that has gathered here today. It is truly an honor to be here with Senator O'Connor, Justice O'Connor, as well as Susan Collins. And I know I would agree with everything that Susan said, that Alzheimer's is not a partisan disease, and it's something that traditionally has brought people together across party lines, and we have to continue to do that in order to move forward. I'm interested in this, of course, first of all, because Minnesota, as you all know, is a medical mecca. We believe in science. We actually do. We believe in technology. We brought the world everything from the pacemaker to the Post-it note. And in fact, just today, when I opened up my Kindle, I noticed that the University of Minnesota and Mayo Clinic together have announced that they will find a cure for diabetes in 10 years. And that is exactly what you're trying to do here with Alzheimer's. And obviously there's a lot of Alzheimer's research going on in my state as well. But I think it is that kind of focus. George and I were just talking. If you could just find cures for Alzheimer's and diabetes, we would solve a lot of the world's problems and a lot of our medical cost problems as well in this country. Everyone has been mentioning the statistics. The one that really sticks with me is the number that every 70 seconds another American develops Alzheimer's. And I think we all know that this isn't just about the statistics. It's about moms and dads and husbands and wives and brothers and sisters. And as you could see from the show of hands in this room, everyone has been affected by this disease in some way or another. I've been interested in this from the standpoint of caretakers. I spent a lot of time in my state going around and doing meetings with caretakers. A lot of times family members that are taking care of aging adults. And I remember one of these meetings, this woman named Joan telling me how her husband has Alzheimer's and she could only take off one afternoon a week. She didn't have the money to get other care, and she found an adult daycare, but then that wasn't working out, and this volunteer would come from her church. She would play cribbage with Joan's husband. She said they would always change the rules in the middle of the game, but it was her one break. At that moment, someone from the back of the room rose her hand and said, how come the United States Senate isn't doing more about aging adults? And at that moment, someone else in the other corner yelled out, because they are all aging adults. Now, okay, that is no longer true, actually, in the last few years. As you can see, the face of Susan Collins and Mark Warner and others that have been involved in this. And I think you're getting a new crop of people in, not that the old crop didn't see it that way, but really see this as, yes, a horrible disease, but also something that's affecting families, young people, grandchildren, everyone in a way that cries out for help and cries out for a cure. So I've introduced a number of bills, one with Barbara Mikulski on caregiving and looking at how we can better promote and incentivize people to do that. But most importantly, we need to do the research, and that's why I support the Alzheimer's Breakthrough Act of 2009. This bill would serve as a blueprint for battling the disease, creating an effective national strategy, and doubling funding, as Susan noted, for research at NIH from $640 million to $1.3 billion. I'm someone that looks at numbers and believes we need to do something about healthcare costs in this country. And the way you can do better when you look at this, we could save our country billions over time. We're now on track to spend $2 trillion caring for Alzheimer's patients, and that's just in the next 10 years. So there's clearly a strong fiscal argument that we need to keep pushing with people in the Congress. But there is also, as you know, a strong human argument. And I would just end with this story to thank you for being here today and to thank the people who have led this effort. And it's actually something that happened when my daughter was about 4 years old, and she was in that church nativity Christmas play, and we were sitting out in the pews waiting for the rehearsal, and she was wearing this huge angel costume with these big wings on it, and we're sitting out there and she will not go up to rehearse. And I go, why won't you go up to rehearse? You have like this great part. And she looks at these two teenagers that look all hot in this big donkey costume, and she says, I want to be the donkey. And I'm like, no, you can't be the donkey. Timmy and Joey are the donkey. You can't be the donkey. And she says, I want to be Mary. And this really tall girl, I said, you're just like a third of her size. You have the best part. You get to come out in the end. It's just the best part. I don't know why you don't want to do it. She finally looks up way to the top of the church, and she says, because I can't fly. And I looked at her, I said, you know what? Not all angels fly. And that's what I leave you with, because you're the angels for all these families who will never know who you are. They'll never know who Trish or George are, or the researchers that have worked on this, or the doctors that are seeking better treatments. They won't know, but you are their guardian angels. You're the ones that's going to look out for them, so maybe that their kids won't have to develop this disease, or that their mom, if gets this disease, will be able to stop it in its tracks. So I just want to thank you for what you're doing. It's an honor to be here with you today, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.